Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. Critically harsh reviews with a touch of class.
Go.
All right. We're back for the 49th podcast of the most disorganized, but yet strangely enchanting podcast about board games. This is Jerry.
And we're not sexy this time?
No, we're not sexy anymore.
Oh,
that was
okay.
that was a one-shot
Good
thing.
I don't know how to be sexy.
But
we failed at it.
But
can I put my shirt back on?
I reserve the right to bring sexy back.
Okay, Justin.
Whatever happened to Justin?
He came out with another
Whatever
album.
happened to episode?
Came out with another album after that,
He did?
and then he married the Jennifer. He married, Jessica.
Jessica Biel?
Jessica Biel. Yeah, who made a movie?
Seventh Heaven.
No,
Right.
she's made even more movies after that and produced some shows. He produced some shows.
Although his last album bombed.
It did? What do you mean
It's because he
bombed?
diversified himself.
What do you mean it bombed?
Although you went to his concert.
I did indeed.
And?
He's as awesome as he ever was.
I like that he had that little curly blonde hair.
I know.
And then he was in a group of people that he knew that he was having to carry them, and
Yes.
he was the talented one.
Yes.
But yet he floated them for a long
He
time.
did indeed.
Are you making a reference?
I'm not. I'm not saying that I'm the Justin Timberlake of this.
They were all in sync with Justin.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it was great because there was Justin.
Yep.
And then they had the one guy that was kind of the rough, tumble,
Yes.
mean looking dude.
Yes. The
They
Jay,
all
Jason.
fit.
The
It's
one
so
had their own
stereotypical
stereotype.
character type, archetype. You got the bad boy. You got the popular one. You got the shy guy.
Well, I hate to say this, but we are kind of stereotypical arc ourselves here at this podcast.
Okay?
so?
Define us.
Break that down.
So
Break that down.
there is Gabi,
The sexy one.
the comedic relief slash.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Am I that
the
guy?
You're
comedic
that
relief.
guy.
It's never good
He
to
called
be
you
the
bad comedian. He called you
relief.
bad guy.
You're that guy.
Wow, you're the guy in the comedy romance that never gets the girl.
Not so fun fact. I was class clown.
Okay, so you mean
So it's Carrie. It's
like
Carrie.
it's there? So you
So he's not very good looking, but every now and then he cracks a joke.
no, you've got the lovable, you got the Kevin from The Office thing going on. The jolly
fat
fat guy.
Really?
No.
That is stereotypical.
See, I don't see
No,
you
that's
as a
not.
fat
I'm
guy.
fat.
I don't see you
No,
as a
but
fat
you've been
guy.
losing weight. How much weight have you lost?
Move along.
Oh, okay.
I don't see you as a fat guy, Gabi.
Thanks.
Oh, I just,
So I'm Gabi. I
and,
kind of interrupted you before.
yeah, I was going to introduce. There's Gabi, our stereotypical archetype.
Hey,
comic relief.
Zoinka Zoinka.
Never do that ever again. Just don't.
And then we have Enrique, which I don't. Oh
Sleeveless wonder.
We don't know what I am, to be all honest.
Sleeve Rogers.
no,
Sleeve Rogers?
just kind of. Nah, just
Sleeve McQueen.
got. Enrique's just kind of
Sleeve
here.
it alone.
Yeah, just leave it alone. Then,
That was good.
and
I
then
knew
Bubba
that.
has come in to kind of be the voice of reason on this podcast.
Sometimes.
We need that.
Really? I don't think so. I think out of town, I like it wild and tumbled and
No, we need some.
tension.
We need some constraints
Because
on
I
us.
know
What?
I'm not the voice of reason.
I just get so much tension when I listen to your podcast, and I think
It does turn to me because me being my archetype of the type A personality on the verge of a nervous breakdown, but yet at times like to yell a lot. There is some tension sometimes because Gabi doesn't quite express himself. He can't articulate
I'm not good with
words
What?
the way that we need.
I don't believe that.
Because this is a show that literally people listen to our words.
Yeah,
And so,
because he has to deal with both of us.
that's true.
That does. I feel you. That makes
But-
sense.
This podcast is kind of about board games. It's mainly about board games, but for the most part, sometimes
Mostly about best friends.
yes,
Doing their thing.
doing our thing.
I thought we were co-workers. Wait a minute.
Just listen. You are a close acquaintance who, for some reason, you came on a show. You got some clout now because you have a fan club.
You was clout chasing
And
and
you're
you got it.
mainly just a charity case. There are people just always, every time you're not on a show, is Enrique sick? Is he okay? Everybody's always worried about Enrique. Look, that's it. So you just say, you do your thing. Just do your thing, Kramer.
What did you think?
Is that Kramer?
Slide into the
Slide
room.
into the room.
Why, hello there.
And there you go. So there's that. But occasionally we banter about various other things. And this is primarily what this podcast today is going to be about. We are going to talk about a interesting game with an interesting theme, Raccoon Tycoon, which was a game that Gabi discovered and I had not heard of. I'd never heard of it. I avoided. I've been kind of on the down low here lately. I've been busy and I have not been keeping up with board gaming news because. Really, who's to think that there would be such a thing as board gaming news?
Board gaming news.
It's a lot of board gaming news. That's what I read primarily.
A lot of board gaming news.
There's a lot of board gaming news.
I got like 3 things I read.
Sometimes I like to disconnect. I don't like to listen to the hype. I don't like to get excited about things. I like to just cleanse my palate.
Speaking of which,
board
gaming news. Usually, me and Jerry both have games we're looking forward to. We're wanting to buy. We got a lot we want to play that we're
frothing over.
But there's really not anything that me or Jerry can really think of that's coming out that we're super excited about. But I have been hearing there's 2 games I want to hit on.
The bird one.
Underwater Cities.
Oh, yeah.
I've heard. Now that's Suchi.
Yes.
The designer. I heard it's very complex.
Yes. It's supposed to be pretty in-depth.
I get what you did there, and I appreciate it. Go on.
Vladimir Suchi, publisher Delicious Games plus 6 more.
Oh, was that a joke?
No.
I wasn't a joke for real? His real name is Vladimir? Suchi?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were trying to make it like a Vladimir Putin Suchi.
No,
okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we don't.
Continue on. I'm
It's
sorry.
a 1 to 4 player.
I thought he's making a political joke. That's all. Okay.
No, we don't do.
we're
Oh, yeah, I'm doing political
commentary on
references.
this
I'm
stuff.
sorry. It's a joke.
The news.
no.
I got you. My bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The SWAT team be
We're
just
not
rocking up
colluding with
in here.
anybody.
Continue on. I'm sorry.
It's a 1
But
to
we
4
are
player.
international, and if somebody international would like to collude with us,
Worldwide.
boardgamesnobs
That's
at
right.
gmail.com, we will collude.
Collusion Joan all the way.
We will take sponsorships.
Colludish?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's underwater.
Colluding.
It's a 1 to 4 player. I'm always all about the solo. But it's out of stock everywhere. But it is supposed to be pretty in depth. I've said that already, but as a joke,
it was
this time I
funny
mean
the
it for
second
real.
time as it was the first time.
It's supposed to be pretty tough to learn.
Well,
And also, Quacks of Quedlinburg.
okay.
Quacking.
I have seen Quacks of Quedlinburg. I have 2 thoughts on it.
Okay.
Actually, I have 3 thoughts on it. If you give me a moment, I'll have a 4th thought on it. The first thought is it's a bag builder, and I don't particularly like bag building games. 2, I don't particularly like the art. 3, I don't
You
particularly
played
like
Altiplano, you played Orleans. You liked Orleans in the beginning, then you came not to like it, and you did not like Altiplano. Those are both bag building
Altiplano
games.
is a joke. And so the artwork, the theme, the mechanism, none of them I like. The 4th thing I'm going to say about it is that is the one I want to play the most.
Really?
Yes, and I think it is because, and we're going to hard merge into our topic about mechanics and things that we like. I have come to find that I like push your luck games.
Yes.
You said that like you just.
We need to play Port Royal then.
Well, you don't point at me.
I pointed just
Don't
now.
point Royal at me.
You were like,
Did you see?
I
Oh,
saw that.
Technically, he only
you-
pointed at.
You see-
he
you see the
pointed at
tension there?
that. What do you mean?
he
See the
pointed
tension.
at me.
You
No, he
see, notice
didn't.
the tension.
Why are you defending him?
Because he didn't point it.
Thank
point
you,
at
Enrique.
Oh, Enrique
Oh, and
steps
as
For
he-
in.
once in my life.
Enrique steps
wait.
in.
Yeah.
He driving you to drink.
I'm going to say this right now. That monkey shoulder is good stuff. I have. Well, hang on.
Are we supporting
I
it
just
for
need
the
a little bit. Just
We're
need a little
supporting
bit.
it for the second podcast.
Monkey shoulder. Yeah, we generally buy a lot,
How
and
many
right now,
glasses have you had?
none of your business. That's enough, sir. Thank you.
Whatever, police.
For those who are,
Bubba.
And I'm straight. Thank you.
for those that are discerning listeners, we have.
750 milliliters of fifth. Is that what they call a fifth?
Is that a fifth? I
Don't
believe
worry
it is a
about
fifth.
that.
750
Just have
milliliters,
as
I
much
think,
as you
is a
want.
fifth.
It's a fifth. Yeah.
A fifth doesn't go as far as you think it would.
Well, if you're drinking it by yourself, it does.
I mean, but that's true.
Yeah.
But when you share it with a few different people,
Yeah, it goes down. Because
not a whole lot.
No, my filter lasts me a long time.
Right. You drink got Bailey's Irish cream, don't you?
That's true too. I do.
You're
drink
the
that.
only person in the world I know that drinks straight Bailey's.
Well, when your name matches it, you gotta support it.
It's kind of odd.
Is that one reason you do it?
You know what? At first it was, and then I realized that I actually was addicted to it. I actually do not buy it now because I can drink a whole bottle in a very short period.
Wow.
Fifth is not that much.
Oh,
Well then.
when it comes to that Irish cream,
I just saw this. This is completely unrelated to anything we're talking about right now.
Which
but I
everything
just
is unrelated to what we're talking about right
I saw it on
now.
Instagram, and I've meant to bring this up. Did you know they're making a Gladiator Part 2?
yes.
How?
I don't know.
Do you mean the
He's
movie?
dead.
You mean the movie?
Yes.
Wow.
What's Gladiator?
Ridley Scott's
Did you just say what's Gladiator?
Yes.
Are you
Have
serious?
you not watched?
Are you serious?
Just go ahead, do it. Do it.
My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius.
Russell Crowe. He
Russell
might
Crowe.
be slightly before your time.
Yeah,
'Cause you are a
slightly.
millennial.
But
When were you born, Enrique?
1999.
Okay, it came out the year after you were born.
Oh, okay.
But you have watched that
therefore-
on TV though.
Almost 20 years ago.
That's like
I mean,
you have. That's like
Gladiator's
saying you
almost
haven't watched. Have you
20
watched the original Fast and
It
Furious?
is.
years ago?
Yes.
The original Fast and Furious. Yes, 2000, right?
Exactly.
Yes, 2000.
But everybody has seen it.
I remember watching that in the theaters. I lived in Dallas at the time, specifically Grapevine. And this is.
Did you hear about it through the grapevine? Go ahead.
No, I did not. But I was into it. And I was racing my car and making noises with my mouth like,
What kind of car are you driving?
Nas and Gage. It was a Nissan Stanza at the time.
Whoa.
They don't make them no more for a reason.
No, that's a throwback right there.
And it had no muffler. So it was very loud.
That's a used
In
problem.
'99, I was driving a vehicle that they just discontinued,
A Saturn.
an Oldsmobile Alero.
Yes, I do
Yes,
remember that.
Oldsmobile made one car for young people, and it was the Alero. And Oldsmobile went out. They were done with, and I had a car that you could not get parts for. Plus the fact that it's an Oldsmobile.
Yes, an Oldsmobile.
You cannot be cool
No.
and drive an Oldsmobile.
No, just
Do
by
they make
definition.
Saturns anymore?
No, I don't believe they do, sir. No.
Do you remember the Chevy Corsicas?
Yes.
Yes.
They don't make those no more
Not
neither.
anymore. Yeah.
Like the 2000s. I had a friend whose dad worked at a car lot. And he would come in and they just let the people that work there take these cars home somehow or another. And he would always bring in a new Corsica or a new Alero. I remember that car very vividly. But now, they're non-existent.
No, they're not there.
Yeah.
What about Dodge Vipers? Do they still make
They
those?
do indeed. Yes.
Really?
Yes.
And those are like expensive hot rod cars.
Yeah, but they still
they're
race
like
them, too.
super cheesy.
I
they
do
still
know that a
race
group
them.
of Vipers is called a generation.
Stop. We're not getting into this again.
FY.
There you go.
There you
Throwback
go.
to our early days of podcasting.
Back when I was young and stupid and not. Anyways, getting back to
What
my
are we
idea.
talking about?
We've been drinking a lot of whiskey here lately, and we've
Yes, you
slowly
have.
becoming connoisseurs.
I would agree with that.
Mostly sewer.
We have come up with these Glencairn glasses.
I think so.
I just Amazon 2 today because
They're
of you
very
Did you
nice.
really?
Yeah, that's what I was doing.
They
Amazon.
do add to the taste of the whiskey of
Yeah.
the scotch, and they do make you get used to smelling things.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
So are you supposed to stick your nose in it as
You're
you
supposed
drink
to
it?
drink? No.
No.
It's
Just take
Does
a.
that give you nosier?
your olfactory senses help with your taste, and so
I
like
know.
so thus the way that the glass is designed, it's fatter at the bottom, skinnier at the top. The fumes rise to the top, so you get more of the
okay.
taste.
Got you.
So that's the idea. It makes the drink taste a little bit stronger.
I'll give you credit for that because it did.
It does. It very
really
much
did.
does, and we highly recommend them.
So Jerry watched a YouTube about this guy drinking scotch. Do you remember the name of it or anything?
I think. Okay, first off, I've been obsessed. You have driven me down the rabbit hole with Instagram. First off, I'd like to issue. I'd like to issue an apology for all of our fans that I've interacted with within the past month or so on Instagram. I don't know how to Instagram. Sometimes people will be talking to Gabi. They'll send him a message, and then
did
I'll
you
pop
do?
in and I'll check the Instagram, and I'll not know what they're talking about, and I start
It
just
is-
talking.
It's not ideal that we both shared Instagram because originally it was just me.
Yeah.
So I would do
But
this, that.
now,
But now Jerry gets on there, and because he's not social network aware,
No, it's not even that. It's just not a very sociable guy.
Oh,
He
snap.
acts. He only he analyzes the
snap.
situation and then tries to pretty much play it off.
but you've been doing good. Like the stuff you post is funny.
I've been trying.
I'm not a meme guy.
I like memes. I discovered
They're
memes
hilarious
lately.
You got lots of likes on them.
I've been killing it with
You've
the
been killing
likes.
with the
I've been
memes?
crushing it with the likes.
But I responded to something, or Denva asked a question about the monkey shoulder. So what do you think? She wanted to know what Joji wanted to know what
I
you
thought
think.
she's talking about what I just posted.
Right, but you
So,
did, but she
I'll
wasn't.
start
But
talking.
there's literally a picture of the
I
whiskey
noticed
there
that later.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not the best.
on stories.
Oh, okay.
But-
I got you.
Even still,
He's getting there.
Even still, I'm getting there, and it's got me watching YouTube. Have y'all you know what I'm talking about?
The YouTube.
The YouTube.
Yeah, we all know.
So
that
I have
YouTube
found
is-
this channel that describes in great detail not only the history of certain drinks, but how to make them. So
Oh,
last
okay.
night I watched this movie, 5 minutes. I then went to the grocery store. I bought me oranges. I brought me orange juice. I got me some heavy whipping cream. I'd made me an orange whip. Have you ever had an orange whip?
Never heard of that.
It's on the Blues Brothers. If you'd watched the
Really?
Blues Brothers, you would have known about an orange whip. I
Called an
made
orange whip?
Orange whip. You shake it. I bought me a shaker. I shook me up
I got
some
a
oranges,
shaker.
some crushed ice, some heavy whipping cream, some rum, and some vodka. You shake that mess up, and it is good. I was hesitant as well.
rum and vodka.
Rum
Now, the
and
only
vodka.
reason I think that might work is because basically a Long Island iced tea is everything.
I love
Boy, that's
all
true,
Long
too.
Island
And I
iced
like
tea.
'em.
I sure too.
I have a friend from Long Island.
You
want
wanna
to
get
love him
turned?
too.
Get their tea.
I want to talk about this game called Raccoon Tycoon that is made by.
Oh, you mean we're Rocket
It's Glendover.
from
Drover.
Guardians of the
Oh, that's the game y'all were playing when I came in.
Civilized?
Raccoon Tycoon by Glenn Drover. You know why I like him?
Why do you like him? Because of his name?
Empire's Age of Discovery.
Oh, that's right. That's where I was just looking
Did
him
you
up.
not realize that?
I did. I was looking at now. Glenn Drover is also the person who did. All you Ameritrash fans, this is what I like about him. I'm fascinated by designers that can make games that are completely separate from each other.
Yeah.
Like they are completely
Very
different
different.
mechanics. Very rarely do you see a designer go from being a Euro gamer designer to a Ameritrash designer. So here's the thing with Glendover. Do you know that Glendover Drover, excuse me, not only did he make
Come on, Drover.
Discovery, which is one of our favorite worker placement Euro games,
One of my top
he also made
list coming soon.
He also made Attack. Now, Attack is
Is that the Aliens game?
No. Attack is the next step up from Risk back in the day.
Oh.
It was made back in let me look it up.
Never heard of that one.
Attack and its expansions was something that like the people in the know of board gaming. It actually came out much later. It's like 2003. It was like the board gamers Risk. And Attack made by, I believe at the time, Eagle Games. It was a somewhat respected war game then when it came out. Glendover, Eagle Griffin was the one that made it. Eagle Griffin's also the one that did Discoveries. So he has made one of the quintessential Euro worker placements. He has made a very respected Ameritrash game, and now he has made Raccoon Tycoon. Raccoon Tycoon. I'm kind of at a loss to describe the art. It has cats
It's adorable.
and tycoons.
That's how I describe
and
it.
skunks and badgers, not honey badgers because they
Dogs, bears, cats.
Got some things in it.
they're all dressed up, and apparently
It's
these
adorable.
felines and
Is this-
other mammals.
It's like
Fat
animal.
cat,
It's like
top
an
dog.
It's like I see it. It's like an Animal Farm kind of thing.
It looks like
It is
Animal Farm.
not.
I am this.
Well, I'm sitting there-
It looks like Animal Farm.
They're dressed like that.
Oh, okay.
Not about the book.
There's no pig, and I'm a sucker for cute
Is
animals.
the pig the leader in Animal Farm?
What was the pig's name, Bubba? Not Francis.
No.
Who was that? There's the horse. There was the pig. I have not read
the
Animal
pig?
Farm.
You got it.
Never read it.
Are you serious?
Never read it.
It's like I know we're getting off, but you
That's
have to read
H.G.
the
Wells,
book.
right?
Yes, that's one he is.
Yes.
But he was symbolizing
1984.
all these things. You have to read.
As
it.
communism, right?
Well, some would say.
Have
that,
you
yes.
not read 84?
1984? You
No.
haven't read that either.
No.
So you
It was
just don't care about the first.
in high school. We were supposed to have read 1984,
Which is great.
Uh-huh.
Animal Farm,
Which is good.
War of the Worlds,
Yes.
Which is good.
and what's the one with the kids on the island that kill each other?
You talking about
Lord of the Flies?
Lord of the Flies. We were supposed to read all that.
You-
I cheated my way through all of that.
Wow.
But now in my older years, I'm interested. But I didn't know if they were like actually good or if they're just considered classics. Because some crap considered classic I don't like. I've tried to read several old novels. I read...
Please don't say what I think you're about to say.
No,
Continue on.
Robert A. Heinlein, The Martian Dude.
Yes.
I've done said this before. What is it called?
Carter.
No, not John Carter.
John Carter. I'm sorry. I'm blanking on this.
It's something. It's the Martian something. Oh my! No, the Man from Nowhere or something. Okay. Anyway, Robert A. Heinlein is this classic sci-fi book supposed to set all these standards for sci-fi. It was very good. It was like X-Men in the beginning. This dude comes from Mars. He's got all these powers, but then like halfway through, it switches to philosophy.
Oh yeah, of course.
And it goes into like religion and politics and all this stuff. And I mean, I understand how people could like that. Me personally, stick with the sci-fi stuff. But Animal Farm is literally animals, right?
Yes.
And they talk and they think and
they have issues.
Are there humans?
Yes.
Do the humans interact with the animals?
Yes.
Do they speak to the animals?
Yes.
So the animals talk back? Is it like just a thing?
It's
or
like
is it not?
It's just a thing.
Just imagine how you talk to your cat if your cat talked back.
Yeah. Thank you.
So it's like no big. They don't think it's a thing that the animals talk back.
It is somewhat odd,
but it's not. It's not the highlight of it.
Okay, I will read it. Do you want me to read it?
I desperately want you to.
Well, I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Though. I'll tell you the reason why. Not just because it's a great book.
Why am I reading this?
H.G. Wells was one of the first compelling sci-fi writers. Right. Period. And so he more than just defined the genre. He just expanded upon it. And like Jerry said about the board game, of one guy who can make a board game completely different than the other, H.G. Wells could do that. By the way, just to throw it out there, read Dan Simmons' The Fall of Hyperion. Is one of the best sci-fi books I've ever read before.
What's that?
Dan Simmons, The Fall of... He read the Hyperion series.
Hyperion
series.
Oh, I've been working.
Stranger in a Strange Land. That's the Robert A. Heinlein book.
I will look it up.
Since we're delving into things we're reading, and I'm about to jump off.
Robert A. Heinlein, creator of Starship Troopers.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Which I've not read Starship Troopers, but again, I heard
the book was
really
good.
Really good.
Wait, there's
the
a
movie,
book?
really crazy.
Yes.
The movie is really crazy.
What?
Yes.
But it's probably a good book, though.
But the book was actually about militarism, militarization, and various...
I didn't know there was a book about it.
You don't know you didn't know there was a book about Jurassic Park
That's the book
until
about
years ago.
You didn't know there was a book about Jurassic Park?
I bought him Jurassic Park, made him read it.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Pre-2000.
Okay,
I'm not familiar.
I didn't read it for a year, but then he's like,
Okay, but wait, I got to look up Hyperion.
While
Jerry.
you're going on, boy, you've got me sidetracked, and now I'm about the book.
This is the Board Game Books podcast.
The book that I'm currently reading, because I'm going back and catching classics, and there has been one that I have regretted that I've never really gotten picked up.
The Bible.
That I thought would be something that would be up my alley. Frankenstein.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I literally have been reading that, trying to listen to the Audible. It's atrocious.
Okay. No. You have to get into that. You have to get into that. I can't say that's my period stuff. I love it.
I'm in chapter.
Oh, you got me going. Go ahead.
Okay, Frankenstein.
I have much to say on Frankenstein.
I won't go any further, but it has affected me in a way for which it is very moving. Because what caught me off guard is that I know Frankenstein, the old shows of this crazy guy puts together a body and electrocutes it and it comes alive and it goes out and does crazy things. That is not what this book is about, which has caused me to go down the rabbit hole and learn about Shelley, the writer, and all that she went through and what this book is truly about and the things and why she is writing it. And it is.
Well, I will have to do the same.
Okay.
I tried. Okay. Can I say? Let me just go real quick.
Do your thing.
I have gotten into this, and I've been inspired by Bubba on several occasions to try some classics.
He's very inspirational.
He's very inspirational.
Yes.
I tried Wuthering Heights. Cannot get through the first 5 chapters.
That's hard. I love that book.
It's like super hardcore English, literate English. Like the way they talked back then was just like, okay. Anyway, so I was like, okay, well, I got about 5 chapters in to stop. I was like, Frankenstein. That's like a monster story.
Yeah.
Sci-fi.
Yeah.
I start listening to the Audible. And I listened to Audible because it has Dan Stevens.
Okay.
Who is also...
I don't know what that is.
From Downton Abbey.
Oh, okay.
He was Mary's husband that died. He's reading. And maybe it's his reading that has affected my opinion of Frankenstein. But he starts off telling the story. The back... I got probably 6 or 7 chapters in. but he's like almost crying in every chapter. It's like all this, like everything is so tragic. I can't handle it. He's like on the verge of crying in every chapter. I'm like,
Well, so it's moving.
But it
It's
didn't
good.
get. So the boy just died.
Okay, just stop.
It's
Stop.
Frankenstein.
I haven't got to stop.
It's 100 years old.
I haven't read it.
It is good.
Good
though.
Okay,
Lord.
golly,
This is why I can't ever talk to him about any books, is because instantly he starts ruining every movie.
I
every book.
thought you'd
I
know
just know.
Frankenstein.
No.
I have not read it. I literally just said that.
You've only watched
No.
the Gene Wilder version.
No. Just stop.
Would it be fair to say that you have to once?
I got to where the boy died.
Yeah.
Stop.
They accuse this lady, and that's it.
Okay.
And I was like, but he was like about to cry as he's reading this whole chapter. I'm like, I can't do it.
Well-
Maybe I need to read it myself and get his voice out of my head.
General note: anytime you start reading period books, you have to read them consistently in more than one, and just rough through the first 2 or 3 books, and then keep reading. And it's like sometimes I get in the mode where I want to watch an action movie, and I like what's the guy?
Fast and Furious. Vin
No,
Diesel.
Cruise.
Gotcha.
old guy. You know what I'm talking about.
Liam Neeson.
No,
You went akimbo.
the one
just then.
who's in the office. He was in the office. You watch it like people watch it in Christmas time all the time. Yippee-ki-yay.
John
Bruce
Krasinski.
Willis?
Bruce Willis, man. Sometimes I get into a mode where I
Did
just
you
want to
say
watch
The
him.
Office?
No, I said he's in the office. In the office, you
I
know.
was thinking it was
Willis
Jim
wasn't in
and
The
Albert.
Which Enrique won't know anything about that because that was definitely pre-2000s. But I'll get into the mode where I just want to watch him, and then I'll watch that, and then I'll watch another action movie. And that books are the same way. Period. Books. You have to get into the motion and the understanding. Anything from 17, 1800s.
I
you got
tried Wuthering Heights.
Well,
I bought it in the picture of Dorian Gray.
Oh well, Dorian Gray is a whole nother
man.
ballgame.
But can I tell you that? Okay,
No, we
my
can't.
mother's favorite
That's super
movie
depressing.
growing up was The Picture of Dorian
That's
Gray,
super
and it
depressing.
starred Tyrone Powers, like this super old 20s, 30s actor. That's my mom's favorite actor. So I've known about Dorian Gray my whole life.
Yeah.
I try to read this book. It's oh my god!
No, that's a hard
We
one.
gotta get back on topic, but
Wait, what?
before I recall, you have to read one of my favorite books, and I know you will
Well,
like it.
Slaughterhouse 5.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Excellent book. Can I say one thing?
Yes,
Good segue.
yes.
Good segue. Have they ever? Because I don't know this. Have they ever created a board game based on a book? Not no Sherlock Holmes and all that.
Yes, yes, they have.
but like something that I would.
Classics.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
hey,
one
man,
of the okay.
Tale of Two Cities.
No. Please.
It's called Bunny Kingdom.
Please. No. You've
I
got,
played that.
you've got all of not only A Column of Fire, which is a newer one, but also his prequel, which was
Ken Follett.
Ken Follett,
Okay.
which is
Those
also
classics-
Pillars of the Earth. Pillars of the Earth is
that
a classic.
Is that
a board game where you're building?
Really?
a
I did not know that.
Yes, Pillars
It's
of the
like
Earth.
a quintessential worker placement that I've always wanted to buy, but Jerry's always shut me down.
Well, is it based on the book?
It's
Yes.
based, but
Oh,
it's
you
just
gotta buy that.
it's
What
just
is it
Building a
called?
Cathedral.
Pillars of the Earth.
Pillars of the Earth.
Is this what the board game is
It's a
called?
board games Pillars of the Earth. So getting back on our topic about
Continue on.
Raccoon Tycoon, because we got somehow.
It's weird to go from what we're
I-
talking about.
I like-
Going back to Raccoon
Animal
Tycoon.
Farms just opened it up.
This
right.
hard
I
merging
forgot.
of like this cat has a hat that reminds me of Animal Farm. You know what? Emily Bronte, Frankenstein. Yes. Raccoon Tycoon by Glenn Dover. It is
Glenn Drover.
it is a game of manipulating prices and purchasing land and bidding on railroads. And so the game, for it being so light, there's actually a lot of strategy into it. So you're dealt a hand of cards, and
The strategy is what to do when.
exactly, and that it's all about timing. So out in front of you are these various resources and their prices. And when you play a card, the card has two indications on it. It shows which stocks go up. So whether it's these commodities, these woods, coal, wheat, whatever these little items are, they go up in price by this many numbers. On the bottom half of the card are the resources that you can produce, and you can produce 3 of them. So you select what 3 resources you produce, and you take those resources. You can only hold a limited amount of resources, up to 10 when you begin. And so that's one of the actions that you can take. So you're basically producing resources and driving up the price, like a supply and demand thing. The other thing that you could do as an action is you could bid on these railroad cards. And these railroad cards is essentially set collections. There's 4 or 5 different types of railroads. And the more different, the more of that one type that you buy, it multiplies your victory points. So you can begin an auction. And so you can say, I'm going to bid on, and they all have these cutesy names like Top Dog or Sly Fox or Fat Cat Railroad. Say, I'm going to bid.
Top Dog.
Yeah, everybody started bidding on Top Dog. I'm bidding on Top Dog. And then everybody at the table, this auction opens up. And it has this paper money, but it's actually good paper money. So you have this auction that goes around and everybody bids. And so that's...
I would still prefer like clay coins.
Everybody prefers clay coins. But
the money was
the
good,
money.
though.
This is probably some of the best
For paper money.
This is some of the
It
best
wasn't
paper
even
money.
paper money.
Some of the best. It's like
It was
paper
like-
money.
it was like-
plasticized.
It was like a
Is
What do you call that?
plasticized a word?
So what do you call it when you have your like a piece of paper and you want to keep it so you run it through this machine and
It's
you-
laminated.
laminated.
There you go. It's like laminated paper.
I didn't know where you were going with that.
Right, that's
Yes.
right.
Okay.
But anyways, it has good paper money, and there's this little bidding aspect of it, but also there's this resource management. So the other action that you can take, and you can only take one action on your turn, is that you could just sell all of your one type of resources for the price. And when you sell it to the market, that price goes down by that many resources. So if wood's selling for $10 a piece, you sell 5 pieces of wood, it drops down 5 spaces, and so thus you've supplied the market, so there's more supply, so thus there's less demand. And so you're going back and forth doing set collection and auctioning and then resource management. And then there's these little tiles that you can buy that are buildings that give you little bonuses, like they increase the amount of goods that you can hold, or they allow you to produce automatically certain goods each time you play a card, each time you produce. So the game is surprisingly easy to learn. Like Gabi sat down, spread out the tracks, gave me the card, and said, "When you play a card, do this or do this and do that, and you can do an auction." I mean, quickly explained it and made perfect sense.
Well, thank you.
I mean, it was one of those that I'm sitting here and he's talking about how easy it is, and I'm thinking, oh, every time he says the game's easy, he goes here and he says, "Well, there's these pieces, and you put this over here." It's like Gugon.
It is very, very simple.
It's very simple.
Go ahead.
This is like I don't want to call it entry level, but
It's very simple, though.
it's very simple.
You got 5 actions. You do one of those, your turn's done.
But the strategy behind
There's
it
a lot of strategy.
was actually pretty good.
You have to. I like the cards. That's my favorite thing. To me, that's excellent.
And this game is about timing, as it was brought out. Is that obviously you can look out on the board and you can see the resources that other people have collected. I'm running up a certain item. I'm driving up the price because I intend to, of course, sell it here quickly. And then, of course, I look over at Enrique and realize Enrique has been stockpiling that same good. It is obvious that he has waited while I have driven up this price of this product, and now he is about to sell all of his commodities and reap the benefits of my hard labor.
Yes.
You have to pay attention to the other people at the table, and it's very easy to do so.
It is.
It's very easy to pay attention and see what they're doing and kind of get game out. I think I need to start selling stuff now because the price is about to go down because they're going to start selling their items into the market. Or I need to start utilizing my items to purchase land, and land again is just multipliers for victory points. And so,
And buildings are a victory point apiece at the end of the game.
so this is what I find fascinating about this.
Fascinating.
There's bidding.
Wait a minute.
What?
I just realized I did beat you.
One word,
on Twitter.
2 words for you, Gabi. Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. Oh, yeah, bad call.
Bad call.
You
It
made a
just-
bad call.
it is
And this
what
is
it
your
is.
game. You should have known the rules.
It
That
is what it
your
is,
fault.
Gabi. It is
That's
what
a
it
W
is.
in my column right there.
I mean, but we know
I
that you
had
won.
3 buildings.
Call
We know that you
me
won. and
Belichick.
that's the only
And
thing
I only
that matters.
counted the warehouse. And he was counting the lumber yard.
The record says that
No.
you have lost.
No, it was mine.
Yes.
It was 30
I've got
to
the hair-
33.
I've got the hair of Tom Brady and the strategy of Belichick. I'm that
30
way.
to 32.
I'll just throw that out there to you. Sorry.
So-
Quick question, Bubba.
Yes, sir.
Clearly.
Okay, Raccoon Tycoon. I like the bidding.
Mm-hmm.
I like the I'm going off topic. I'm going to ask you a question here in a second.
Go ahead. I am listening.
I like the cards that drive up the price, and then you get your commodities. I like all of it. And the buildings in the beginning, I did not. There was a rule I don't think we did when I played with Mike, and that's you get that product every time you get it.
Y'all messed up the rule.
And plus, there were a victory point apiece at the end of the game. That helps. I like all of it. It's a very simple game. It's like I said, it's easy to teach. It's adorable. I love cats. I love dogs. I love big bears.
I love the
Dogs are
bears.
top.
And we played 3-player, and it was still pretty good
Love the bears.
for a bidding game.
No, the dog.
How do you rank it as far as your bidding games?
It is obviously
High society,
no,
modern art.
and that's what I was going to kind of jump on my bandwagon about. This game is themeless. I mean, what's the theme? You're a raccoon.
Cute little animals.
It's cute little animals. It's a bunch of mechanics that have been melded together in a nice way.
And it's called, Raccoon Tycoon. And
there's only like a few raccoons in
what
it.
he's a tycoon of.
He's a tycoon of commodities. He's a cute little.
He's
anything tycoon
Rocket
is
from
related to
Guardians.
commodities.
It rhymed.
The railroads. The railroads are the animals you bid on. Like there's supposed to be different railroads. It's like you said, it's themeless other than the pictures drawn on it.
This is a themeless light economic game. Here's the thing. This is why I think this is interesting. It's not my favorite bidding game by any means.
No.
It's not a great bidding game. It's not my favorite stock game in terms of like driving up prices and selling goods.
I prefer the stock over the bidding portion.
It's not my favorite tableau builder where you're buying the little buildings and
Right.
It's not my favorite card game. It's not my favorite resource management. It's not my favorite anything.
But it's a good little bit of all.
But it has enough of little bitty mechanics that they all are right. They all intertwine. And most importantly, the two things that this game does right. Number one, it's simple. It's easy and straightforward and intuitive. It is. I can look on the back page and look at the action selection and pretty well know how to play this game. The second thing is the scoring. I have preached about this for a long time about scoring in games.
He won though.
I really don't like when a game has this runaway leader thing, or that the scoring is really complicated, or you don't know what you need to do to make victory points, or really how to win the game. It's like a
That
lot.
makes sense.
It's
Very straightforward.
Yeah, I don't like it when a game the scoring kills it for me.
Right.
Like we a few podcasts back, we talked about Starship Samurai.
Starship Samurai.
Thank you, Sean. Sean of
Thanks
Starship.
for having me on the podcast.
It the scoring in that was irritating because you scored every single round. It's like every time you got to take your turn,
atrocious.
you had to score, and it was just irritating. There are many games where the scoring it gets insane. Like one person will run away with it. I like games where the scoring is very straightforward. You know what you got to do. You know what your objective is, and it helps players remain. The scoring is very
Close.
tight. So even in our game with Enrique over there bidding it up, Enrique scored like 26, 27
Yes.
points. Gabi and I had a tiebreaker at 30 because that's the official record. That's what happened, and we were each doing different strategies. They both doubled down on one railway. They both did set collection on one railway card that gave them multiple points.
Only bought one town.
I spread out. I had 4 towns. I kept buying railroad tiles individually. I nickeled and dimed my way to victory, and it was close.
To loss, actually.
That's what I like about this game is that
Reality.
although it is themeless, it's not fiddly, it's straightforward,
It's very
and it's
straightforward.
something that is different level of gamers can play this. Like you said that Mike and his family have played this and they really like it.
Love it.
Their kids and all, you're playing it with your kids.
Little Mike beat us.
10 years old, beat you. I guarantee
I think
you,
he's
I
about
sat
12
down.
actually.
This is my type of game. This is an economic game. This is a bidding game. This is everything I had. I was behind from the get-go. I had to fight
And remained so.
and almost lost
Whatever.
because of this. But in the end, I don't know why a game like this, that is obviously the artwork's there, it's put together, it's a very objectionably good game. I never heard of it. It's by a company.
It really shocks me you haven't heard of it.
I didn't
Forbidden
hear of
games? Never Forbidden Games?
I don't know. I don't know that company.
I don't know the company.
What about
I
the
know
design?
Glenn Drover. The only
Drover?
reason I know him is because of Age of Empires.
Yeah.
I think I've got something else here that's his.
But Glenn Drover has shown that he's able to make a Euro game. He's able to make a Ameritrash game, and he's now made an economic game.
As opposed to people like I have Uwe Rosenberg makes the same game over and over and over and over.
Feature people make some.
Stefan Feld makes the same game.
Point salad.
Over and over. Different designs, same game. I mean, there's differences.
Slight variations.
There's slight variations.
But I like a guy that, I mean, Age of Empires is this massive colonization, worker placement, blah, blah, blah. This is a stock bidding game.
And light.
And it's light. I really like this game.
I'm shocked by how much I like it.
I'm glad you like it.
Gobby bought this. Gobby's been raving about it. He's been playing
it with Mike
people.
Bought it.
And then saying Mike's family likes it. And I'm thinking, this is going to be too light for me. This is not a game I'm going to like. Gobby sits down and quickly explains it. And I'm like, this is not up my alley. But quickly, the little puzzle that it presented, it's almost like I want it to be a small box game, but it's actually a longer game. Hell, it's about an hour long.
And you can make it as long, whenever the town cards run out, which there's a bunch of those, or the bidding card, the railroad cards run out. Every game I've played, the railroad cards have run out first.
Right, because the auction.
Because every person can auction.
Yeah.
And if you want to really speed up, you just start auctioning. And like you, and I did this with Mike, it's like, I'm trying to make everybody else run out of money. So I'll auction something, let them bid on it, let them get it. Then I'll auction something, hoping to get something else for cheap because they've run out of their money.
Yeah.
So you can run through 3-4 auctions before you finally win one. And then it's the next person's turn. Then they could do the same thing. So you can run through the auctions pretty quickly.
Get it on the cheap.
I did that, but unknowingly, I gave little Mike a bunch of cards.
Yeah.
He bid them up and got it, and then he won. But today was my first victory.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Pseudo, but yes.
Asterisk. This is the type of game that I look for. And when I say that it's the type that I look for, it is games that have been missed by the generalized public. This is why I say generalized public. I'm talking about the main reviewers of board gamers. I don't know why this game is not more popular. I feel the same way about this game.
Now, do you think it's not popular simply because you haven't heard of it?
Is it popular?
I feel like if I've heard of it, I kind of felt like it must be fairly popular.
Certain review channels all the time. I've not seen this game. I've not seen this game on Instagram, Facebook, anywhere else. I've not seen this game put out there.
I just want to start a thing. We don't call it Instagram anymore. We call it the Gram.
IG?
The Gram?
We'll call it the Gram.
Oh, okay.
Just throw that out there.
Okay.
I thought it was.
Wait, speaking of which, you don't hardly post either.
On the Gram?
The Gram.
Gram?
No, I'm not a poster. I'm a purveyor.
Jerry is white, so he's the Graham Cracker.
Is that called the perv?
No. That's just like
You pervert on somebody's gram? I'm over here pervert on something. The cracker's over here pervert on somebody's gram.
I'm trolling on somebody's gram.
You're saying
You
right
missed.
now.
Did you get my joke?
What joke?
I said Jerry's on Instagram. He's the Graham Cracker.
I got that. I'm
Wow.
laughing.
I didn't get that.
I'm laughing. I'm
glad you repeated that. I'm glad you repeated that.
Okay.
I can't laugh at that.
This. Yeah, you can. Okay, so
Continue on.
back to our
On my side.
subject. About 20 minutes in, what's your favorite book, Bubba?
Oh, that's a hard one, Gabby.
I know that's a hard one, but you've got to have a favorite. I have a very definitive favorite book, and it doesn't necessarily make sense. It's just when I read this book, I was like, that is the most fun book I've ever read in my life.
Okay, you want to know a book that I have to say is my favorite because I read it and it was the first book that opened up my life. And nobody's ever heard of it, and it doesn't matter, and it's the whole in print, and I don't know how I got a hold of it. It's a book called Andersonville.
About Andersonville?
It's called Andersonville. It is.
You are correct. I've never heard of that book.
No, nobody has. It's about the Civil War.
Now that's like the prison camp.
That is the prison
I've only
camp.
heard of it because I think you told me about it
Yeah,
before.
it is about a prison camp in the Civil War era, and it is absolutely amazing. It is super slow, super detailed. It is like reading Dickens, but an English version of it. Well,
Is
an
it a
American
novel
version
or
of
is it a true
No,
story?
it is a novel. It is a novel based on an actual prison camp.
Yeah.
So it's
Andersonville
it's
is a
true story
Fiction,
related.
nonfiction or fiction? I guess.
It's fiction. It is fiction because the characters were based on real people, but the story itself he made is true. It's super tragic, super good.
See, that makes mine sound elementary.
No,
Go
it's okay.
ahead.
What do
Tell
you
us
have?
about tell us about Archie.
We gonna,
Archie Jughead.
wait, are we just gonna
No, my
Superman
favorite
one.
book-
What is your favorite
My
book? Hang on, I gotta hear Enrique's favorite
Okay.
book. Is it Jurassic Park 1 or 2?
Actually, it's a Sherlock Holmes book.
Oh,
What Sherlock Holmes
Hounds of
book?
Baskerville.
Yes.
Oh, good job.
Did you read that because I
Good
told you about
job.
that?
Well, and I think
I've
it was
never read that.
I
Make
think
my
it was
own clap features.
A
Never read that.
different
Never read
version
it.
because it was a.
I tell you,
it's
I
a
haven't read
small-
many
it's a-
old like
gotta
classics.
read.
It's a small
I
blue
will.
book. It's a small blue book.
He read
that
the-
is almost pocket size.
You
Yeah.
read the Cliff Note version of Hounds of Baskerville. I don't think I've ever been prouder of you.
I'm super
I
proud of it.
love the Hounds of Baskerville.
I've only seen
and I'm gonna
the
have to show you the book
newest
because
Sherlock
It's a nice,
No,
TV show ever.
no.
It's a-
Have you not read any of?
I've never read a Sherlock book.
right, I'm gonna
What
give
about Nancy Drew? Does she count? I've read all of Nancy Drew.
Well, I've read
Are
all
you
of
a
Nancy Drew
little girl?
the
too.
Hidden Staircase.
I'll tell you.
Are you
I read
kidding
that
me?
I read all of them. I can't lie to you. I
I
read the Hardy Boys.
love Nancy. Now this is my thing. The
Boxcar Kids.
I love the
I read the
Boxcar
Boxcar
Kids.
Kids. I did not read the Hardy Boys.
Love the
I
Hardy Boys.
read only Nancy Drew, and I loved her.
You know what? With your like of women, I can see that. I can see that.
my favorite book is Timeline
Okay,
by Michael Crichton.
that's fair. That's fair.
Okay, so like the timeline in the movie with your man Paul Walker was
it's
pretty
atrocious.
rough. Okay, I'm
Hey.
just making sure.
But have you read the book?
I've read the book
We read
and
the
I've
book.
enjoyed it.
The
book
book,
is nice.
I read that book and I was like, that was time travel. It was Dark Ages. It was science. It was freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Merrick was a completely different character in the book than he
Yes.
was in the movies.
Yeah.
It was great. I love Michael Crichton stuff anyway.
Yeah, he's always
except
good.
for that Pirates Latitude.
You didn't like that?
No,
I loved it.
That was like non-story.
No, I liked it.
I was like,
He dipped. He
It
dipped
just-
in the.
I don't think that was him. I
He-
think that was those other authors that came
Well-
in like, oh, let's fix this up. He's dead. And then they published this story for him. I'm like, they did nothing.
Well, he didn't finish that story completely.
No.
Right, that's what I'm
happened.
saying.
Yeah, you
like
could
he
tell.
started it, and then like
Yeah.
nothing happened in
But-
that book to
yeah,
me.
But Michael Crichton wrote one of the most boring books I've ever read that was so
Ooh.
fascinating.
Oh.
Was that Airframe?
Yeah, you like that one?
Yes.
That was good.
That was atrocious.
No,
I like
that
that
was
one.
so boring. A
hated
woman
that.
Yeah,
investigating an
interesting.
airplane crash. It
Yeah.
wasn't really a crash. It was this hard turbulence.
I hated that book.
That was way better than what it should have been.
That and Disclosure. I didn't like either of those two books.
But you like Prey.
I loved Prey
Like, most
with
people
the
say they love Prey.
nanotechnology.
Yeah, most people love Prey.
That's good. Michael Crichton, I would have to say, Timeline's my number one.
Mm-hmm.
Sphere in the books is really good. It's
Sphere
like
was good.
it's weird. You're like
It's
you're not
super
sure
sci-fi.
what's going on.
I straight up saw the movie, was scared to death. Didn't read the book for a
Yeah,
long
the
time.
book is
and I was
way
kinda-
better.
Oh yeah, I
the
read
book is way more tense.
Yes, it's
and
way more tense.
suspenseful.
But it took me a while.
Michael Crichton used to be my favorite author and now he's dead. It's like I've read all his books and it
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
sucks.
you're not getting any more. Yeah,
It's like I've read them all. I don't
Like,
know.
like Jerry said, the first book he got me was Jurassic Park, and it was good, but it took me almost a year to actually get to read it because
It's a hard read.
It breaks my heart in Jurassic Park. Malcolm dies in the book.
well, they had to resurrect him.
But then Steve Spielberg makes the movie, and he's like the number one character. So like, oh crap!
Yeah.
The audience loves this guy.
have
We
to
got to
keep him.
bring him back somehow.
which was
Yeah.
a smart move.
I mean, it was.
a
and then
smart
they're like,
business
oh,
move.
what would happen if we were to bring him back?
but Michael
in
Crichton
small
used to be my
scene
favorite
in-
character. I mean, favorite author. But
This
what's your favorite book? Oh, Slaughterhouse 5.
Well, Slaughterhouse 5 has always been, but in terms of books, this podcast has gone way
off
off
top
the
the
rails.
rails.
Fine, it's fine.
That's all right. This is
Okay.
just going to be an asterisk out there that we just need the audience to
It's our
understand.
49th.
Could it be 48
or 9?
Yeah, 48 and a half episode.
Yeah, this,
48,
is
45.
this is 48 and a half. This is 48 and a half. I like the fact that we did a podcast with a theme of animals.
Yes.
Monkey shoulder, raccoon
That's true.
There you
tycoon.
go. My family has started doing karaoke.
Yes.
I don't know if that's
another-
coming through or not.
Another thing, that's something you're not going to be able to edit
We're a
out.
karaoke family
Yes.
here.
If you've noticed that in Gabi's voice quality, that carries on to the rest of his family.
That does.
And they do enjoy
Bubba, what do you think about my
Most of his
voice?
family.
a
most.
nice
I think-
karaoke.
I think you bring the sexy in the podcast.
So
Oh,
There you go.
Oh, and here we
He
go again
does.
with the sexiness.
So
again, thing
I
again.
think that now that we have rambled for probably,
We rambled.
57
It's
minutes
almost
as of this
9.
point.
It's
I'm just
literally
going to
almost
say,
9.
just to recapitulate everything,
Capitulate.
Nice.
Capitulated.
Raccoon Tycoon is a very nice game.
Rocket
Please give it a
Raccoon.
look. If you think if something that might
You
match
have adorable
your
animals.
friends, family, relatives, listeners, we appreciate you listening in on us.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, and have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye. Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Board Game Snobs. Stay classy.